Big tech just made a bet so big it sounds insane. $725 billion. That is how much Google, Amazon, Microsoft and Meta plan to spend on AI in 2026 alone. That is a 77% jump in a single year. And while they are pouring billions into silicon and data centers, they are firing thousands of humans to pay for it. The last 24 hours have been the loudest example yet. Let us start with the IPO that broke the internet this week. Cerebras Systems, a wafer-scale chipmaker most people had never heard of, went public on Nasdaq and absolutely detonated. Shares priced at $185 opened, climbed, and closed at $331.07. A 68% surge on day one. The company's market cap hit roughly $95 billion. $95 billion. For a chip startup nobody outside the industry could spell. So what does Cerebras actually do? They build chips the size of dinner plates. Most processors are the size of a fingernail. Cerebras stamps an entire silicon wafer into one giant brain, designed to train massive AI models faster than anything Nvidia currently ships. Wall Street decided that vision was worth nearly $100 billion before lunch. Translation: investors believe the AI compute war is far from over. It is, in fact, barely just getting started. Speaking of Nvidia, the king itself just punched through another ceiling. During intraday trading this week, Nvidia briefly hit a $5.5 trillion market valuation. Trillion with a T. To put that in perspective, that is larger than the entire annual GDP of India. One chip maker. Worth more than a country of 1.4 billion people produces in a full year. Records keep breaking and nobody on the street seems to know where the top is. Underneath all that money is a feeding frenzy. Argentum just signed a $2.5 billion deal to expand AI data center capacity. Japan's Kioxia, the memory maker, posted an $8.2 billion profit in a single quarter, driven entirely by AI server demand. Every shovel maker in the AI gold rush is suddenly drowning in cash. The pipes that feed the models are now worth more than most of the models themselves. Pure picks and shovels economics. But here is the plot twist nobody on Wall Street wants to discuss out loud. A brand new Gallup study just dropped and the numbers are brutal. 71% of American adults oppose having an AI data center built in their local area. 48% strongly oppose. The exact infrastructure big tech is betting $700 billion on, the public actively does not want in their backyard. Power grids, water use, late night noise. Real people are pushing back, hard. While America argues about data centers, South Korea is heading straight for chaos. Over 45,000 Samsung electronics workers are preparing an 18-day strike starting May 21st. This is not a small union spat. This is the company that makes the memory inside everything from your phone to every single AI training cluster on the planet. If they walk off the line, the global supply chain stops getting the chips it desperately needs to feed the boom. What sparked the revolt? Bonuses. Memory chip employees at Samsung are reportedly receiving annual bonuses worth up to 607% of salary. Logic chip workers are getting somewhere between 50 and 100%. Same company, same badge, dramatically different rewards. The memory side is riding the AI boom into the stratosphere. The logic side feels completely left behind. And when 45,000 engineers feel cheated by their own employer, they shut entire fabs down. The stakes are enormous. Samsung alone supplies a huge chunk of the world's high-bandwidth memory, the exact component Nvidia and AMD need to build their AI accelerators. An 18-day stoppage could ripple into delayed shipments, missed earnings, and yes, even higher AI hardware prices for everyone downstream. The same boom that minted $95 billion IPOs this week is also breaking labor peace at the world's biggest chipmaker. The cost of the gold rush is hitting the miners. Now back to the human cost in America. Meta is reportedly preparing to lay off 8,000 employees on May 20th. 8,000 people. And internal reports suggest Meta is on track to cut nearly 20% of its total workforce by the end of this year. Why? Because Mark Zuckerberg wants money to spend on AI talent and AI compute. The mid-level engineer in California is being quietly traded for a GPU rack in Texas. Every quarter, more trades. And this is not just one company. PayPal announced 4,760 job cuts as part of a $1.5 billion AI overhaul. Oracle has slashed 30,000 jobs this year alone, the single largest tech layoff of 2026 so far. Fidelity cut 800. Every press release uses the same exact phrase, restructuring around AI. Translation: humans out, models in. And the math, by the way, is just barely getting started. Want the cold scoreboard? As of this week, the tech industry has logged 179 separate layoff events in 2026. 113,863 workers gone. That averages out to roughly 831 people losing their jobs every single day this year. While the stock market sets fresh records, the people who actually built the stock market are being shown the door. The disconnect has never been this obvious. Over at OpenAI, things are getting equally dramatic. The company is merging ChatGPT, its coding agent Codex, and its developer API into one unified product team. The new boss is Thibaut Sadios, the engineer who built and runs Codex. The goal? Build what insiders are now calling a super app, one product that writes your code, browses the web through the Atlas browser, and answers your questions in a single experience. The chatbot era is ending. The agent era is here. At the same time, OpenAI is fighting on a second front in court. Closing arguments just wrapped in the explosive Musk versus OpenAI trial. The plaintiff is seeking $150 billion in damages and demanding the removal of CEO Sam Altman and President Greg Brockman from the company. Altman testified under oath that back in 2017 his rival insisted on having complete control over a proposed for-profit arm of OpenAI. Whatever the verdict, the dirt is finally on the record. Washington is also tightening its grip on the whole industry. The National Institute of Standards and Technology just announced that Google, Microsoft and xAI will share unreleased AI models directly with the U.S. government for testing before any public launch. The Pentagon went further, clearing Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, OpenAI and SpaceX to run their AI directly on classified defense networks. The military is no longer just renting AI on the side. AI is now officially inside the building. Then there is a story so weird it almost feels invented. A Bitcoin owner who bought 5 coins more than a decade ago at around $250 each forgot his wallet password after changing it back in college. Those coins are now worth roughly $400,000. He turned to Anthropic's Claude AI for help. And the model walked him step by step through recovery scripts until the wallet finally cracked open. Decade-old money, suddenly back. Think about what that story actually means. An AI assistant just helped a normal person recover $400,000 of frozen wealth using nothing but a chat box. That exact same capability, in the wrong hands, is also a fully functional hacking tool. Anthropic, by the way, is reportedly raising at a valuation that could vault past $100 billion on the back of moments like this. The line between helpful copilot and digital crowbar is now razor thin. Zoom out and the pattern is suddenly crystal clear. Capital is moving to AI at a speed nobody has ever witnessed in modern markets. Cerebras hits $95 billion overnight. Nvidia kisses $5.5 trillion. OpenAI rebuilds itself into one super app. Anthropic cracks lost crypto. Meta, PayPal, and Oracle bleed thousands of jobs to fund the spend. Samsung workers prepare to walk out. Citizens oppose the data centers in their towns. Every story this week is really one story. And that story is this. The world is being rewired in real time, and the cost of the rewiring is being paid by middle-class jobs, regional power grids, and the patience of voters. Big tech is moving like there is no brake pedal. Governments are barely catching up. Investors are cheering on the sidelines. Workers are angry on the picket line. And the AI itself just keeps getting more capable, more centralized, and more deeply embedded in everything you touch daily. So here is exactly what to watch over the next 72 hours. The Samsung strike start date on May 21st. Meta's official layoff announcement on May 20th. The verdict in Musk versus OpenAI. Any sign that government oversight has actual enforcement teeth. And whether Cerebras can hold that $95 billion valuation when reality clocks in Monday morning. The headlines of the last day are not random noise. They are the early scenes of the biggest economic shift of this decade. Now the question I want from you. If your employer announced tomorrow morning that AI was officially replacing 20% of your team starting next quarter, would you bet on yourself and adapt, or would you panic and freeze? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. The sharpest reply gets pinned to the top. And if any single story today actually surprised you, share this video with the friend who keeps insisting that AI is overhyped. They really need to see this. Alright, that wraps it up. Like, save, subscribe, and we'll dig deeper next time.